The last story that I have here is Melissa Gilbert speaking out on her husband's sexual abuse allegations. The latest in a long history of abuse allegations. We're talking about Timothy Busfield. You probably recognize him if I show you a picture of this guy. He's an actor and a director. He's in Revenge of the Nerds. He's all over TV. He's Danny in West Wing. Yeah, and he is a disgusting piece of shit. And his wife decided to go on Good Morning. Okay, so the topic didn't change that much. Okay, that's true. The topic didn't change that much. I'm just not talking about Kanye anymore. I'm not here to like hold someone's hand who wants to go to a Kanye concert. But yeah, I guess the topic didn't really change. I guess it's really still the same stuff. But yeah.
So with actress Melissa Gilbert, and George, you sat down with her.
Yeah, I did. Of course, her husband, Timothy Busfield, has been accused of in charge of this sexual contact with a minor, and she was really just determined to speak out. Why speak out now?
It's time. We've been hearing and reading too much untruth, and we felt that the time was right to speak out. Also, honestly, I wasn't capable until now. It's been a very traumatic time.
In February, Timothy Busfield was indicted by an Albuquerque grand jury on 4 counts of criminal sexual contact with a minor. Busfield has pled not guilty. He's scheduled to go on trial next year. The charges stem from allegations Busfield inappropriately touched a child actor on the set of a TV show he was directing called The Cleaning Lady, when the child was between 7 and 8 years old.
When did you enter the...
Okay, so just to kind of, just to add up all the allegations here, he's been accused of sexual assault, rape against 5 children and 3 adults. The allegations occurring in 1994, in 2012, in 2026. I think that is just the legal suits that have been brought against him, but I know that there were other claims from, there was something from 1991 as well, if I recall.
U.S.?
According to the criminal complaint, last September, a therapist who interviewed the child documented him disclosing having nightmares about the director touching him and waking up scared. Allegations Busfield denied in this video obtained by TMZ.
I'm going to confront these lies. They're horrible. They're all lies. And I did not do anything to those little boys. And I'm going to fight it.
All right. Busfield's attorneys allege the parents of twin child actors on the show blamed Busfield when their sons were recast in 2024 and wanted revenge. Claiming in court documents, a witness heard the boys' mothers say that if her children were not brought back, she would get Timothy Busfield. The criminal complaint doesn't just reference what the parents said, it of course references what the boys said in these interviews.
What the boys said originally was, he never touched me. They were both asked at the time, and they were specifically asked, you know what's appropriate, you know where touching is appropriate. Did he
I'm just like, why the fuck did his wife, Melissa, go on Good Morning America?
Touch you in any inappropriate, and both boys said no.
But in subsequent interviews, one of the boys did say he was touched in
One of the
inappropriate
boys in that interview was preceded by the father telling the boy when he would wake up at night that he was having nightmares. The boy would say, and we have this in the records, the boy would say, I wasn't having nightmares, I was just hot or cold. And the therapist said, well, why didn't you tell your father that you weren't having nightmares? He said, because I didn't want to disappoint him.
But the prosecution contends the alleged touching was first reported by a therapist, not the parents. One of the other things the criminal complaint says is that you had some kind of relationship with the family, with the boys and the parents. And I'll just quote it and you can respond to that. They advised that they did buy the 2 boys Christmas gifts and were together on several social functions.
Tim did not give the boys gifts. Melissa gave them gifts. Melissa gave them and every other child at a Christmas party a gift. Every child at the Christmas party, not treating them special or different than anyone.
Okay, so my question now is, how complicit was Melissa?
So is your contention just that the parents and the boys are just making this all up?
Absolutely. The boys are victims in this case. They're victims of the parents, not victims of Tim.
Busfield's attorney accused the parents of seeking financial gain.
And when they were fired, they assumed Tim was responsible for it. The truth is he was not.
ABC News reached out to the parents of the children but did not hear back. In a statement to ABC News, the Bernalillo County District Attorney, whose office is prosecuting Busfield, said a neutral grand jury indicted the defendant. This office follows our ethical duty to only proceed on cases where a good faith basis exists to prosecute. The criminal complaint also includes references to two women who had accused Timothy of sexual assault back in 1994.
Let me just give a little background here. So in 1994, a 17-year-old actress who was an extra on the set of Little Big League, film that Timothy Busfield was starred in, accused him of sexual assault when she was 16. She said that she tried to leave the trailer and he pinned her against the fridge with his foot in her crotch and assaulted her. He denied the allegations, filed a countersuit accusing the girl and her lawyers of defamation. That was tossed, and he had to settle not just with the girl who alleged abuse, but also had to pay all her legal fees. And then in 2012, a 48-year-old woman accused him of groping her while they were on a date. But the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office declined to file charges against him, citing insufficient evidence. And Busfield said the contact was consensual. And again, it's like, how are you supposed to have evidence when you're sitting there and somebody gropes you in the dark of a movie theater? 2026 sexual abuse charges when he was accused of sexually assaulting twin boys on set of The Cleaning Lady. And then after news of those sexual abuse charges were made public, a man reported to law enforcement on January 14th, 2026, that years earlier, Timothy Busfield had abused his then 16-year-old daughter, said he kissed her, put his hands down her pants, and touched her privates during an audition. Yeah, why did you not film your assault? Yeah. So after these charges come out of the sexual abuse against children charges, then this man comes forward and says he claims that he did this to his daughter when she had auditioned as a 16-year-old. And then in March of 2026, so last month, the actress Claudia Christian, she is known for the shows 911 on Fox. She voices Hera in The Blood of Zeus on Netflix. She's also a voice actress in Atlantis. She's in Babylon 5. Yep. So Claudia Christian alleges that Timothy Busfield sexually assaulted her while they were filming the movie Strays in 1991. And she was 26 years old at the time. She said they were rehearsing lines in his trailer. He grabbed her, threw her against the wall, started kissing her. He had an erection, shoved his tongue in her mouth. She tried to push him off and then ran out of the trailer. She had reported the incident to an assistant director and to her husband, didn't go to law enforcement at the time, filed a police report in March 2026. So add that on top of everything else. And then after that allegation came out, another woman who's now an adult reported to police that when she was a 16-year-old intern at the B Street Theater in 1996, Busfield sexually assaulted her. She said he grabbed me in between the legs, pulled me down from the ladder, and turned me around, stuck his tongue down my throat, touched me all over aggressively, and I pushed him off me. Oh, we're not done. Then a third woman went to the police saying that while she worked as a personal assistant for Busfield and his wife from 2017 to 2019, so that would be Melissa Gilbert, Busfield made inappropriate comments, was manipulative. She says she didn't feel safe being with him alone. She further said he touched her on her thighs while she was in a car, which made her very uncomfortable. She was age 22 when the incident happened. And then in March of 2026 as well, Another woman went to law enforcement reporting that while she was shopping for books for her children, she encountered Busfield. He started saying very graphic things to her. He followed her from that store to her car, then to another business while trying to finish the conversation. She says it was very bizarre and disturbing and extremely aggressive. It was totally uninvited on my part. I didn't understand why he just suddenly went there. And I tried to say, okay, I'll talk to you later. I have to go. It was relentless and I rolled up my window. Yeah. Cutie McBooty, thank you for the gifted. Oh, yeah. So long history there. You can note the patterns. A couple of those allegations that involved him cornering women in their trailers. Allegations that involved him clearly using, abuse of power. Couple allegations that are separate incidents of alleging assault at a movie theater.
In 2012, he settled one of the cases. Were you aware of these cases before?
No, he
the
did.
criminal complaint?
I got this one. I need to make something really abundantly clear.
This is so uncomfortable.
These allegations have been out in the ether for a very long time. And
That means you knew about them.
when Tim and I got together, the internet
I'm sorry. So lawyers saying no, and she's like, hold on, I got this. Oh, yeah, I've known about this for forever.
existed. I didn't go into my relationship with him blind. I am neither naive nor am I complicit. I talked to him about it. I asked him questions about it. I heard his side of the story, which no one has ever heard, which is the truth. And when the time is right, and that is not now, Tim will tell the truth of all of these past allegations when he needs to.
What the
Well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, Melissa. And one of them is someone who said they were a former personal assistant for Tim and you. And she alleges very inappropriate behavior. And I wonder if you were witness to that. Might not have been around for the other ones, but it sounds more and more, Melissa, as if you are complicit, as if you are aware of your husband's behavior.
prosecution is saying, though, is that they cite other reports of other women making allegations. And
Yeah.
This is part of
Now is just not the time, though. But Tim will tell the truth. He will, his side of the story, which is the truthful side of the story here. And he will tell all. I just can't get over this moment here, right here.
1994 and 2012. He settled one of the cases. Were you aware of these cases before?
No, he
the
did.
criminal complaint?
He goes, no. And then Melissa jumps in and he turns to her.
I got this one.
And then he laughs uncomfortably. That's an uncomfortable laugh, okay?
I need to make something really abundantly clear. These allegations have been out in the ether for a very long time. And
That means you knew about them.
when Tim and I got together, the internet existed. I didn't go into my relationship
She's
with
not only
him
a piece
blind.
of
I am
shit,
neither
she's an
naive nor am I
idiot.
complicit.
I'm sorry. Is that not giving shut up? And she's like, I got it. And then he's like, it's George Stephanopoulos is right there because we're on Good Morning America. And we're taping this. Yes, you got it. Yeah. That's a good thing I get paid no matter what happens. Yeah, that's a good thing that it's not my reputation here, that it's not my husband, that I'm not. Reed's title, Caroline, with all due respect, when is the impetus to and his pathetic quote ever not been stupid insane? Oh, yeah. No. Fork found in kitchen.
Talked to him about it. I asked him questions
Fork found
about
in
it. I
kitchen.
heard his side of the story, which no one has ever heard, which is the truth.
Also, thank you for the bits.
And when the time is right, and that is not now, Tim will tell the truth of all of these past allegations when he needs to.
What the
Also, one of them was that was a suit that was settled. That was like it was a settlement, and then he tried to sue for defamation, which is also Hello? Will? William? Hello? Farley? Farley! Farley, come here! Farley! Will? What the hell's going on? I don't have enough vocal strength to yell. William? Oh, that's you. Okay. I just heard him going nuts. I know he's always going nuts, but you'd think he'd go a little bit less nuts if it's you. All right, anyway. Mother, intruder.
Prosecution is saying, though, is that they cite other reports of other women making allegations that this is part of a pattern.
But the pattern is supposedly that someone who is powerful, who will do something to someone, who won't report it because they're powerful. A 6 or 7-year-old boy is not going to not report something they're uncomfortable about.
Okay. First of all, that is wild. That is a wildly untrue statement to say. This is why grooming and manipulative tactics are always at play with the abuse of children to convince them that it's okay. When they're being abused, but they're being told that that's normal, because they trust authority. So even when they feel in their bodies that something is wrong, because they trust authority, because they are kids, because they want to please, because they want to make adults happy. So, that's a huge part of child abuse, of sustained child abuse. Secondly, this was reported
Because of the power of a director. Maybe a woman who wants to be in film or television.
Little boys can be scared.
But little boys were asked specifically whether it happened, and they specifically said it did not happen.
What has this whole episode been like for you?
Hell, this has been the most traumatizing experience of our lives. Our life as we knew it is done. We are grieving what we had.
The lawyer's like, everyone knows kids. Hello? Should we talk about Epstein? Should we talk about one of the reasons that Epstein got away with Epstein and the other pedophile abusers in Epstein's circle got away with it is because they intentionally targeted girls who were extra vulnerable, who they knew that they would have an easier time getting away with abusing. And because they threatened them, they would blackmail them. They would threaten their families. They would threaten their lives. They scared them. They groomed them. They had all the power. That's how power works. Oh my God. I can't believe that this lawyer just tried to claim when children are abused, they always report it.
Our plans, all of our dreams, all of our ideas, all of our projects.
You know what happens too is children learn early on. They'll tell people around them, hey, this is happening. And then a lot of times it gets cut. Nothing happens. So it's also the children learning from an early age that bad things happening to them is their fault, but also that people won't care.
Tim, it's done. He's canceled. Even if he's exonerated, he will always be that guy. The last person in the world who would hurt a child. And believe me, if I thought for a second that Tim Busfield hurt a child, he'd have a lot more to worry about than prison.
No moments of doubt?
Not for a second. I know this man in my bones. No one knows him better than I do. I know literally everything about him. Our marriage has...
I'm sorry, but also bringing up cancel culture, fuck out of here. I am so sick and tired of the word canceled being brought up in a context like this. We are talking about serious allegations of abuse against children towards a guy who has a long history here of rape and abuse allegations. And in one instance, already settled a lawsuit And we're talking about, oh, well, even if he's found innocent, then he's canceled.
You know, we've had a lot of ups and downs. We've been through struggles. We've had our own issues to deal with, and we've worked through everything. He is nothing if not completely honest with me. I trust him with my children's lives, with my grandchildren's lives, my nieces and nephews. He is an honorable.
If I'm someone in that family, I'm going, well, I don't. You trust that man with my life?
Caring, generous human being.
And you're confident he'll be exonerated?
Oh, absolutely.
I am 100% confident he will be exonerated, but I will tell you
The lawyer says, oh, absolutely, and looks at her.
that there is a practical side to this, and we do have to be prepared for all scenarios.
What will justice look like in this case?
Exoneration, an apology,
This is
freedom
sad.
from this cloud.
This is sad.
Very forceful and emotional response from her there. As I said, we did reach out to the parents of the kids, and they did not respond to us. We'll see this all play out in court.
Like you said, very strong in her defense of him.
Yeah.
All right, good job. Thank you, George.
That is just really fucking gross and sad. And look, Melissa, you are not the one who has these allegations against you. Not just these ones, but the past ones as well. And yet you are falling on the sword here. You are making yourself appear complicit. Thoughts on sending her out to do this because she's a former America's sweetheart? I mean, like, should I do a psychological profile here? I believe she believes that all these women are liars, that these children are influenced by adults who are lying. But in particular, because the majority of these allegations outside of what he's been arrested and charged with have to do with abuse of girls and women. And you see when women will defend their husbands or boyfriends or, whatever man in their life has been accused, they believe these women are liars. They believe that they've targeted and the true victim is the man who's been accused of these things. When she said he would never hurt a child, all I think of is that she does not consider sexual assault harm. Christians love her because Little House is one of those shows that Christian schools pushed in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, I mean, here she is talking about prayers up and stuff. Look.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to take a moment to speak to you directly. As many of you know, I stepped away for a little while to focus on my family. It was time I needed, time to be present, to tend to what matters most, and to gather my strength in a season that has not been easy. Family is everything to me, and during this incredibly difficult time, I leaned into that truth fully. But something else carried me too. You did. This extraordinary community at Modern Prairie, you wrapped me in love even when I was quiet. I felt your prayers, I felt your encouragement, I felt your steady presence. From our artisans, the talented hands and hearts who continue to create such beautiful media. Hi, everyone. I wanted to take
strategically filmed in her kitchen with the pots and pans in the background. This screams crisis PR. Yeah, she has like her soft hair, her glasses. She's in the kitchen, right? It's very homey. It's very like, I am just a loving wife. I'm a loving wife who I've been praying and I've been hearing your prayers and we will get through this. Ooh. Ladies, Ladies, with how this stream was going, surprised we didn't have any Timothy Busfield fans in chat mad at this because they watch The West Wing. Yeah, I'm sure they're out there. They just haven't found their way here yet. It's probably because Twitch is I don't know. It's like 15-year-olds. Like, what's West Wing? Huh? Oh man. This shit is so depressing. It's so depressing seeing women publicly make themselves complicit like this. Because it's one thing if you're just staying quiet. Okay? Even if you're standing by your rapist man's, you kind of are doing so privately, but like to go on Good Morning America, okay, I know this is not the same thing. Let me just be very clear. It's not the same thing. But it's like when Atrioc came out and did his apology stream and he had his wife sitting there crying in the background. And how horrible that was. Where it's like, really? You're going to have your crying wife sitting here as a prop, as what? An attempt to garner sympathy, to show that she's still sitting by your side. It's devastating. Sigh. That was crazy. That was crazy. He had to apologize for that too. Right. But it's like the instinct there to have the wife be sitting there by his side. Anyway, Mila Kunis in her humble woodshed. God. Having to apologize for the apology. I know. We should probably just try to get the apology right the first time so that you don't have to end up apologizing for the apology.